to Haunted Happenings with the Taunton Paranormal Group. I'm your host, Jake, and with me, of course, is Lou. Tonight we have a special episode for you. We're coming from Monroe, Connecticut, and we have Lorraine Warren and Father Bob Bailey with us. I'd like to thank you both very much. It's an honor to be here. Thank you for allowing us into your home to speak with you.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you. Would you like to start some questions?
Sure. Now, Miss Warren, when did you realize that you had a psychic ability?
9 years of age. It probably was earlier than that, but what I could see were lights around people. And I felt everybody could see this. And I was the type of child that didn't want to be different. I wanted to fit in. And I was in Laurelton Hall from grammar school. And it was all Catholic private girls' school. And I made the mistake of telling my French teacher, Sister Joseph, who was also my art teacher, that her lights were brighter than Mother Superior's. And that didn't go over very well. It didn't fly. didn't fly. And so with that, not wanting to be different, you know, I tried sharing it with my parents and all. And although they were such, my parents were just the most wonderful parents in the world. And they were heavily involved with the Catholic Church. We were brought up that way. And they tried to understand me. They tried to understand what I meant when I could see these lights around people. So as the result of feeling I was putting pressure on them or making them upset, I suppressed it, but it did not go away. And I began realizing that it wasn't just people that had lights around them, that it was animals that had lights. It was flowers, it was trees, it was everybody. I could see these lights around. And from that, I developed this thing about, I was almost fanatical about the fact that I couldn't bear to see somebody cut a tree down.
Oh.
And of course, my love of animals, probably that is the reason. Because of this, I told you about being able to soon be with the big animals.
Right.
And I'm sure that I'm going to see the auras, and I want to see the auras of these animals also. I've never been that close. You know, I've never been in Africa,
right,
or where these large animals are. But it started about that time. I did suppress it. I really did suppress it. I didn't talk about it because nobody else talked about it. That meant that I was the only one.
And was it confusing to you, maybe not knowing what was happening?
Yes, it was. Until I met Ed. Now, I had no interest in going out with boys. My schooling was important to me, my family, the things I was doing for the church. All of this was important to me. But having a boyfriend wasn't. And the only reason I can think of for that is because of the fact I was in an all-girls school, and I was only 16 years old. But I was home for the summer, and I was going with this one group of girls from CYO, and we were going to a movie. And they asked if I could go. And I asked my parents. They said I could go with the girls to the movies. And we went. And on the way, they told me about this boy they were going to introduce me to. They really did not know me that well at all. I didn't want to say to them, I'm really not interested, because I would seem strange or different if I wasn't interested. And so as a result of this, they said, he's a lifeguard during the day. And I had gone to the beach, but I had never gone to the beach where he was a lifeguard. And then he's an usher in the theater at night.
Oh.
And so I thought, That's nice.
There you go.
That's nice. Now, we go in, and they introduced me to Ed. I want to tell you, I looked at him from the shoes he had on that were polished, to the Argyle socks, to the crease in his pants, to the snow white shirt he had on, and all of this. And I thought, what a well-groomed young man you are. After the theater, after the movie, what we did, there was an air raid. It seems foreign.
Oh, wow.
But this was 1943, and there was an air raid, and there's a lot of defense factories in Bridgeport. We had moved to Bridgeport from Milford, and so we had to wait for an all clear.
Oh.
When I think about it now, you know, we didn't think much about that at all. But I think, you know, if we were a little more educated, we realized how scary it really was.
Oh, absolutely.
And then later, you know, we found out that these submarines came so close and like that.
Mm.
So he left the theater with us. And he said, I'll buy all you girls a Coke at Rich's. We were on Old Mill Green on Boston Avenue, Bridgeport. And Rich's was like a little ice cream place. So we went in, and I ordered an ice cream soda. I never drank like Cokes and stuff like that. And I still don't. I still don't like.
I don't either.
Makes two of us. So anyway, he kidded me. He kidded me from then on all the time that he knew I was a gold digger from the first night he met me. Because I ice cream soda. And he, you know, all the other girls, you know, were ordering nickel Cokes.
Oh.
That was a few years back.
Yes,
Yeah.
honey, that's few. So then we walked. He said, I'll walk along with you home. His house was going to come first. And he's walking backwards and talking to us. He knew these girls. And talking to us. And then we got to his house. And the girl said, wow, we're already to your house, Ed. And with that, he started to run across the street. He says, okay, nice to meet you, Lorraine. And he ran across the street and up the stairs into his home. And I didn't see that young, athletic, 142-pound boy. I seen my husband as he looked just before he passed. And I wrote in my diary, I'll spend the rest of my life with you.
So it was destiny that you met that night?
I guess it must have been. It must have been destiny, because the way we fit together, you know, we're both artists. We made our living as artists. Art funded us so that we didn't have to charge people even expenses to go out to their homes. And we never took money for doing it. And so then, as the result of this whole thing, we began to realize that we were meant to be together. But when we were married, let me explain more of it to you. We were married on survivor's leave. The last ship that my husband made 4 trips across the North Atlantic under fire before he turned 18. He entered on his 17th birthday.
Oh my God.
And he tried to get in at 16 and they found out that he forged. So as a result of that, we were married on survivor's leave. We were married in St. Charles in Bridgeport, and we got permission from the diocese to be married at night because he only had like, I think it was a 2-day pass or something. I'll never forget that he got married in a wet uniform.